Says I'm live. It says I'm live. Oh, everything looks good. Okay, everything looks good. Hey, if you are here already, please let me know in the chat. Please say something like, "We are here, we are here," like in Horton Hears a Who. Also, oh hey Megan, hello. Okay, I got a new shirt I wanted to show you guys. Look at my shirt. I don't know if you've seen it. Very cool shirt, isn't it? It's the best shirt ever. Yeah, thank you. So, how is everyone doing? I know there's only one person here so far, but the others should show up. Everyone who does join the stream, who watches the stream, who is gonna join the stream, be sure to like the stream, please. And I hope everyone's doing fine today. I am going to be streaming on Twitch eventually. I just have everything set up. I just gotta start doing it. And what else? I hope you all had a fantastic weekend. We finished the book of Matthew. We're no longer in Matthew, and I'm just kind of jumping around. And now we're doing Daniel. We're in the book of Daniel now. And anyone joining the stream that's new, my name is Adam Brazell. I'm the Bible Nutter, and this is how this will work: is I will just pull up the Bible on the screen and I will read it. And then I'll go through it verse by verse and talk about it. And then people will comment and chat, and I'll look at the chat while I'm going over it the second time. I won't read chat the first time because it just looks bad on replay if I do that. And then I will go over to Discord. If anyone wants to talk to me instead of typing stuff, but they want to talk on Discord, we can do that. So that is how it's going to work. And without further ado, we're going to get right into it. We're in the book of Daniel. Daniel's only got 12 chapters, I believe, and it's we're in chapter 1. So, oh my gosh, I'm so thirsty. Okay. So, without further ado, we're going to get right into it. It's a book of Daniel. In the 3rd year of the reign of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, came Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, unto Jerusalem, and besieged it. And the Lord gave Jehoiakim, king of Judah, into his hand, with part of the vessels of the house of God, which he carried into the land of Shinar, to the house of his God. And he brought the vessels into the treasure house of his God. And the king spake unto Ashpenaz, the master of his eunuchs, that he should bring certain of the children of Israel, and of the king's seed, and of the princes, children in whom was no blemish, but well favored, and skillful in all wisdom and cunning and knowledge, and understanding science, and such as had ability in them to stand in the king's palace, and whom they might teach the learning and the tongue of the Chaldeans. And the king appointed them a daily provision of the king's meat, and of the wine which he drank, so nourishing them 3 years, that at the end thereof they might stand before the king. Now among these were the children of Judah, Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, unto whom the prince of the eunuchs gave names, for he gave unto Daniel the name of Belteshazzar, and to Hananiah Shadrach, and to Mishael Meshach, and to Azariah Abednego. But Daniel purposed in his heart that he would not defile himself with the portion of the king's meat, nor with the wine which he drank. Therefore he requested of the prince of the eunuchs that he might not defile himself. Now God had brought Daniel into favor and tender love with the prince of the eunuchs. And the prince of the eunuchs said unto Daniel, I fear my lord the king, who hath appointed your meat and your drink. For why should he see your faces worse liking than the children which are of your sort? Then shall he make me in danger. Then shall ye make me endanger my head to the king. Then Daniel said to Melzar, whom the prince of the eunuchs had set over Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, prove thy servants, I beseech thee, 10 days, and let them give us pulse to eat and water to drink. Then let our countenances be looked upon before thee, and the countenance of the children that eat of the portion of the king's meat, and as thou seest, deal with thy servants. So he consented to them in this matter, and proved them 10 days. And at the end of 10 days their countenances appeared fairer and fatter in flesh than all the children which did eat of the king's meat. Thus Melzar took away the portion of their meat, and the wine that they should drink, and gave them pulse. As for these 4 children, God gave them knowledge and skill in all learning and wisdom, and Daniel had understanding in all visions and dreams. Now at the end of the days that the king had said he should bring them in, then the prince of the eunuchs brought them in before Nebuchadnezzar. And the king communed with them, and among them all was found none like Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. Therefore stood they before the king. And in the matters of wisdom and understanding that the king inquired of them, he found them 10 times better than all the magicians and astrologers that were in all his realm. And Daniel continued even to the first year of King Cyrus. Hey, Dragon Ball Dave, thank you for joining. This is the first chapter of Daniel. And I'm probably going to change my thumbnail because we'll probably be able to get through 2 chapters today, because it's not very long. So let's see here. Hey, Dragon Ball Dave, thank you for joining. Be sure to like the video, please. So, in the 3rd year of the reign of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon. So Babylon, the kingdom of Babylon, they besieged Jerusalem and took it. And then they carried away captives. It's when it says that, and the Lord gave Jehoiakim, king of Judah, into his hand. He gave Jehoiakim, the king of Judah, into Nebuchadnezzar's hand. He let him defeat them and capture them. And then they went into the land of Babylon. It says he carried them into the land of Shinar. So they defeated Israel and took their stuff and carried them captive. Carried them away captive into Babylon. And the king spake to Ashpenaz, the master of his eunuchs, that he should bring some of the children of Israel who were wise, who were princes, who were scientists, who were awesome. Children who was no blemish, well favored in skill and wisdom and cunning and knowledge. To pick out the best people there in Israel and teach them our language, so that they can teach us their things, and they can teach us their culture and their stuff, and we can also teach them our stuff. So some certain men that they want to assimilate into their country, because they had just taken them over. And so that's kind of what you want to do when people take you over, is the country tries to assimilate the people that they take over. Otherwise, they just rebel and stuff, and that's no fun. And the king gave them meat. He gave them a meat from his own table and wine from his own table to try to just give them some food and drink, because he's being nice to them. The king is like raising them up. The king is helping them. He's nourishing them. Even though they are captives, they're not like torturing them. They captured them, and now there's like, okay, and they give them work to do. And the people who are the choicest among the people of Israel, Jerusalem, Judah, they're giving them like special privileges, like teaching them. Well, they want teaching them their language and stuff, and trying to understand them more, stuff like that. And so the king was preparing them for, or the captain of the eunuchs was preparing them for 3 years before they would go to the king to say, "Hello, how are you?" Now among these were the children of the children of Judah was Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. And these were renamed Daniel, Belteshazzar, Hananiah, Shadrach, and to Mishael of Meshach, and to Azariah, Abednego. Daniel, now when it says he would not defile himself with a portion of the king's meat, nor with the wine which he drank, I'm not sure exactly what he means by defiled him. For I don't know if it means defiled as in spiritually defiled or defiled as in health reasons. Because apparently all they had to eat was meat and wine. And Daniel was wanting to get some fruits and veggies in there. So I don't know if Daniel didn't want to defile himself spiritually, or is it just physically? Because if all you're eating is meat and wine, you're definitely going to be missing out on eating fruits and stuff. So I don't know if it's spiritual defilement or just physical defilement. I'm not sure. So he requested of the prince of the eunuchs that he might not defile himself. Now, the Bible says that God brought Daniel into favor and tender love with the prince of the eunuchs. So apparently the prince of the eunuchs liked David. He really liked David. He thought David was an awesome guy, and he loved David. And apparently God can do that, so that's very interesting. So I wonder that if you have like a terrible boss, is that like a curse or something? Or maybe it's just something to consider, that if you do have a boss at work who is kind, that to not take that for granted. Because, well, I don't know, your boss at work can ruin your whole day. Dustin says, can't talk much at doctor's office. Good luck with the stream. Hey, that's fine, Dustin. Just so long as you're here, that's awesome. Be sure to like the stream, please. Now the prince of the eunuchs said unto so Daniel does not want to eat their meat and drink their wine. Perhaps for health reasons, maybe for spiritual reasons, but for sure for health reasons. And the prince said unto Daniel, well, what am I supposed to do? If I don't give you food and drink, then you're going to be like all withered and starving and stuff. And then you're going to endanger my head to the king. That's what he says here. And then said Daniel to the guy, okay, prove me. Put me to the test. Give me 10 days to eat the fruit. Pulse is fruit. So it's fruit to eat and water to drink. He says, okay, prove me 10 days. Give me fruit to eat for 10 days and water to drink. And then look at our countenances. Your countenance is your facial expression. Look at our countenances and then decide. Look at our countenance, who ate the fruit, the pulse, and the water, and then look at the other guys who just ate meat and wine, and then, as you see, deal with thy servants. So he consented to the matter and proved them 10 days, and at the end, the countenance of Daniel, I believe it was all four of them, Daniel, Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego. Meshach. That they looked better. They look fairer and fatter in flesh. They look better. So he asked for some fruits and veggies and water, and that was better than just eating red meat and drinking wine all day. That makes sense. But, they didn't know that, I guess. So thus Melzar took away their portion of the meat and gave them wine, or Give them pulse to eat and water to drink. There you go. And as for these four children, God gave them all sorts of knowledge, and Daniel had understanding in all visions and dreams. I do not, I, Adam Brazell, as of right now, have no understanding at all of visions and dreams. I barely even know anything. So this is like a special gift, a special miracle gift that God gave him. Because I don't understand visions at all. I had that to be explained to me. Now at the end of 10 days, wait, now at the end of days, the king should bring them in. The prince of eunuchs brought them in before Nebuchadnezzar. And then Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, these four were better than pretty much all the other princes of Judah. They were better than all the other wise men of Judah. Yo, Marky Man, thank you for joining the stream. Brother, be sure to like the stream, please. They were just better than everyone. They looked amazing. They were in all matters of wisdom and understanding. The king inquired of them. He found them 10 times better than all the magicians and astrologers. But also, they were better than all the princes of Israel as well. Now, the Bible says that a magician is like a witch, a wizard, a sorcerer. People who practice like magic and stuff, like tarot card readings and Ouija board stuff, and people who deal with like magic. The Bible says it's evil and to not do it. It says to not to don't do magic. Don't don't look into it. Don't search it out. Don't listen to people who do it. One of the reasons why you shouldn't is because a lot of them are fakes and phonies, and they don't actually practice magic at all, and they're just con men. But some of them actually do practice magic. Now, it's not like magic like Harry Potter. It's not like that kind of magic, but it is possible. It appears to be able to talk to like demons and stuff and have spiritual experiences with drugs and with all sorts of magic devices. But the Bible says to not do that. It says not, and so first of all, because they're probably con men. Second of all, because demon possession. There was lots of people in the Bible who were possessed with demons, and that can happen if you're wanting it to happen and letting it happen. So don't get into it. And also the astrologers. I believe the astrologers are the people who try to predict the future based on the stars. I think. Or it might also be those like zodiac sign people who are like, "Oh, I'm a Pisces, so I love chicken." It's like, "What? You don't love chicken because you're a Pisces. You like chicken because you like chicken, and you just happen to be a Pisces." Stuff like that. The Bible says, don't pay any heed to it. Don't look at it. Don't think about it. Don't get involved in it. And if you need something, pray to me for it. God says, if you need something, pray to me. If you need understanding or wisdom or knowledge, if you need money, pray to me for it. Say, God, I need some money. Pray to me for it. Don't seek out these other things for knowledge and wisdom and spiritual guidance. Seek me out. Seek God. If you're needing something, ask me. Don't ask these other people, because number one, they're probably con men, or number two, they're probably going to like get you possessed with the devil or something. Number three, they're going to turn you away from me. If you think you can get everything you need from the magicians and astrologers, then you're not going to inquire of me, the Lord. And I'm a jealous Lord. I'm a jealous God. I hate it when you consult other people ahead of me. Talk to me. I know everything better than everyone else, so talk to me, says the Lord. So that is why the Bible says, I believe, that don't talk to magicians and astrologers and tarot card readers and the zodiac signs and all that stuff. It's either not true, or it's something that's bad, or it's going to turn you away from God. All those things are bad to me, so I would not do them. So that is Daniel chapter 1. We're going to go to Daniel chapter 2 because we have time. Very good. We did good. Hopefully, I do have time to actually read this. I'm being called. Hello, I'm on stream. No, they're coming tomorrow. Bye. Okay, awesome. So Daniel chapter 2, here we go. So in the second year of the reign of Nebuchadnezzar, Nebuchadnezzar dreamed dreams wherewith his spirit was troubled, and his sleep brake from him. Then the king commanded to call the magicians and the astrologers and the sorcerers and the Chaldeans for to show the king his dreams. So they came and stood before the king. And the king said unto them, I have dreamed a dream, and my spirit was troubled to know the dream. Then spake the Chaldeans to the king in Syriac. O king, live forever. Tell thy servants the dream, and we will show the interpretation. The king answered and said to the Chaldeans, The thing is gone from me. If you will not make me known unto me the dream, with the interpretation thereof, ye shall be cut in pieces, and your houses shall be made a dunghill. But if ye show the dream and the interpretation thereof, ye shall receive of me gifts and rewards, and great honor. Therefore show me the dream and the interpretation thereof. They answered again and said, Let the king tell his servants the dream, and we will show the interpretation of it. The king answered and said, I know of certainty that ye would gain the time, because ye see the thing is gone from me. But if you will not make known unto me the dream, there is but one decree for you, for ye have prepared lying and corrupt words to speak before me, till the time be changed. Therefore tell me the dream, and I shall know that ye can show me the interpretation thereof. The Chaldeans answered before the king and said, There is not a man upon the earth that can show the king's matter. Therefore there is no king, lord, nor ruler that asks such things at any magician or astrologer or Chaldean. And it is a rare thing that the king requireth, and there is none other that can show it before the king, except the gods whose dwelling is not with flesh. For this cause the king was angry and very furious, and commanded to destroy all the wise men of Babylon. And the decree went forth that the wise men should be slain, and they sought Daniel and his fellows to be slain. Then Daniel answered with counsel and wisdom to Arioch, the captain of the king's guard, which was gone forth to slay the wise men of Babylon. He answered and said to Arioch, the king's captain, Why is the decree from the king so hasty? Then Arioch made the thing known to Daniel. Then Daniel went in and desired of the king that he would give him time, and that he would show the king the interpretation. Then Daniel went to his house and made the thing known to Hananiah, Mishael, Azariah, and his companions, that they would desire mercies of the God of heaven concerning the secret, that Daniel and his fellows should not perish with the rest of the wise men of Babylon. Then was the secret revealed unto Daniel in a night vision. Then Daniel blessed the God of heaven. Daniel answered and said, Blessed be the name of God forever and ever, for wisdom and might are his. And he changeth the times and the seasons. He removeth kings and setteth up kings. He giveth wisdom unto the wise, and knowledge unto them that know understanding. He revealeth the deep and secret things. He knoweth what is in the darkness, and the light dwelleth with him. I thank thee and praise thee, O thou God of my fathers, who hast given me wisdom and might, and hast made known unto me now what the what we desired of thee, for thou hast now made known unto us the king's matter. Therefore Daniel went unto Arioch, whom the king had ordained to destroy the wise men of Babylon. He went and said thus unto him, Destroy not the wise men of Babylon. Bring me in before the king, and I will show unto the king the interpretation. Then Arioch brought in Daniel before the king in haste, and said thus unto him, I have found... I'm trying to figure out a different voice for this. I have found a man of the captains of Judah that will make known unto the king the interpretation. The king answered and said to Daniel, whose name was Belteshazzar, Art thou able to make known unto me the dream which I have seen, and the interpretation thereof? Daniel answered in the presence of the king and said, The secret which the king hath demanded cannot the wise men, the astrologers, the magicians, the soothsayers show unto the king. But there is a God in heaven that revealeth secrets, and maketh known to the king Nebuchadnezzar what shall be in the latter days. Thy dream and thy visions of thy head upon thy bed are these. As for thee, O king, thy thoughts came into thy mind upon thy bed, what should come to pass hereafter. And he that revealeth secrets maketh known to thee what shall come to pass. But as for me, this secret is not revealed to me for any wisdom that I have more than any living, but for their sakes that shall make known the interpretation to the king, and that thou mightest know the thoughts of thy heart. Thou, O king, sawest and beheld a great image. The great image, whose brightness was excellent, stood before thee, and the form thereof was terrible. The image head was of fine gold, his breast and his arms of silver, his belly and his thighs of brass, his legs of iron, his feet part of iron and part of clay. Thou sawest till that a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet, and that there were iron and clay, and brake them to pieces. Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broken to pieces together, and became like the chaff of the summer threshing floors. And the wind carried them away, that there was no place found them. And the stone that smote the image became a great mountain, and filled the whole earth. This is the dream, and we will tell the interpretation thereof before the king. Give me a drink. Thou, O king, art a king of kings, for the God of heaven hath given thee a kingdom, power, and strength, and glory. And wheresoever the children of men dwell, the beasts of the field and the fowls of the heaven, hath he given into thine hand, and hath made thee ruler over them all. Thou art this head of gold. And after thee shall arise another kingdom, inferior to thee, and another kingdom of brass, which shall bear rule over thee, over all the earth. And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces, and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise. And whereas thou sawest the feet and the toes, part of potter's clay, and part of iron. The kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, forasmuch as thou sawest the iron mixed with the miry clay. And as the toes of the feet were part of iron, and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong, and partly broken. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. And the, and in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. For as much as thou sawest the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, and that it brake in pieces the iron, uh, break in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold, the great God hath made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter, and the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof sure. Then the king Nebuchadnezzar fell upon his face and worshipped Daniel, and commanded that they should offer an oblation and sweet odors unto him. And the king answered unto Daniel and said, Of a truth it is that your God is a God of gods, and a Lord of kings, and a revealer of secrets, seeing that thou couldst reveal this secret. Then the king made Daniel a great man, and gave him many great gifts, and made him ruler over the whole province of Babylon, and chief of the governors over all the wise men of Babylon. Then Daniel requested of the king, and he set Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego over the affairs of the province of Babylon. But Daniel sat in the gate of the king. Hey, Harvey McLean. Hello, how are you? Be sure to like the stream. You're new. Woo! That is Daniel chapter 3. One of the things I was afraid of when reading Daniel was I don't know everything. I can't explain everything. I know some stuff. Because some of the book of Daniel is prophecy, but I love Daniel and I wanted to read it. And so I was afraid that I, I, I was afraid I wouldn't be able to explain everything, but that's never gonna change. I'm never gonna know everything. I'm never gonna be able to explain everything because you just can't. There's just too much stuff. So let's go through it. Oh, by the way, let me just okay, let me couple. So Discord, if you do want to talk to me on Discord after the stream, whoops, where am I going? Let's see. If you want to talk to me on Discord after the stream, Control V. So we can like talk and stuff if you don't feel like typing in chat if you have a question, but if you want to talk afterwards, after the Bible study stream, we're going to Discord and then you can talk to me. All right, there's an invite link. I put another one in the chat so that if you want to talk that way, we can. Okay. Okay, yeah. Okay. I get so. Dragon Ball Dave says Abraham is not a Jew. Well, I think he is. I still need to make that video. I'm going to make the video eventually. Okay, here we go. So the second year of the reign of King Nebuchadnezzar. Hey, do you guys like the voices I do for the people? Dragon Ball Dave, baseless. And the second year of the reign of Nebuchadnezzar, Nebuchadnezzar dreamed dreams. So one of the ways God used to talk to people, well, actually, God still does talk to people in dreams and visions. He still does. I've heard countless testimonies of Muslims over in Islam. Uh, they said that Jesus came to them in a dream and told them to leave Islam, and they did. And I've heard it many times. I've heard it more times than I can just dismiss. If I had only heard it once, I probably would have just dismissed it because I don't believe people. See, actually, as for me, I'm very skeptical when people say that God talked to them or that God sent them a vision or a dream. I'm very skeptical of that. I don't believe them. I just don't believe them. But I've heard it so many times over in Islam that I do kind of wonder if it's true, if God is still sending people visions and dreams. He can, he did in the Old Testament. I have never heard an audible voice from God. I have never had a dream or a vision or any of that. I have the Holy Spirit, I got that, but I got that after I believed. So that's that. But I've never received any other miracle from God that I know of. Dragon Ball Dave says, "Oh ye of little faith." So this dream, Nebuchadnezzar got a dream from God, and his spirit was troubled, and his sleep brake from him. That just means that he woke up. He basically a nightmare, and then he commanded all his wise guys, the magicians, the astrologers, the sorcerers, and the Chaldeans. I thought Chaldean is a Chaldean. I thought the Chaldeans were just a people. They're just a people. It says for them to show SHEW just means show, like SHOW, to show the king his dreams. So they came and stood before the king. And the king said, I dreamed a dream and was troubled to know the dream. And I said, O king, live forever. Tell us the dream and we will tell the interpretation. Now this is something that I don't understand. Did the king not tell them? Did King Nebuchadnezzar not tell them the dream? Was he just like, hey, I had a bad dream. Can you tell me what it was? Was that how he asked him? I'm not sure. It reads funny to me. If you in chat know, let me know. But the way I read it is the king just says, hey guys, I had a bad dream. Can you tell me what, but I forgot what it was. Can you tell me what the dream was and the interpretation? Thanks. King Nebuchadnezzar. that's the interpretation I get. I'm not sure that's right, but that's what I'm getting. So tell us the dream, and we will show the interpretation. And the king answered and said to the Chaldeans, the thing is gone from me. Like, what thing is gone from him? Did he forget the dream he dreamed? He just knew he had a dream, but then he forgot the details of it? I know that can happen. I'm not sure exactly what is happening. That my interpretation is that he forgot it, and he's asking them everything. Caused me to remember the dream and tell me the interpretation. And said that if you can't, then I'm going to kill you all. You shall be cut in pieces, and your house shall be made a dunghill. Why did he do this? Well, the King Nebuchadnezzar, he's not a Christian. He's not a good guy. Babylon is like an evil pagan nation. They worship false gods and idols. The whole reason he's even trying to have counsel with astrologers and sorcerers and the Chaldeans and magicians, the fact that he's even trying to get counsel from all these weirdos is because he's not a righteous king. He's not like a godly king. He's a king who has gods, but not the god of gods, not the God of the Bible. And so he's an evil, wicked pagan king. He's no good, like as far as righteously is concerned, and that's why he's inquiring of the magicians in the first place. And then he was because he's also not a very nice guy. He says, if you don't tell me the dream, I'm going to kill you all. I'm going to cut you all in pieces. And also because he was really afraid of this dream. He was very afraid of it. So that's why he was inquiring them at haste. Marky Man says, maybe asking what they thought about the dream of what he remembered. So, Marky Man, you think that he told them the dream, or parts of it that he remembered, and that they were going to piece it together? Maybe that's what he did. It would seem strange to me that they would have to tell him the dream and the interpretation with nothing to go on. That would seem strange to me. Perhaps you are right, Marky Man. And then it says, tell me the dream, or I'm going to kill you all. But if you show the dream and the interpretation thereof, you shall be received gifts and rewards and great honor. They answered again and said, let the king tell his servants the dream, and we will show the interpretation thereof. Now, again, it's weird. It's weird how it reads to me. The king answered of a certainty. It says, I know of certainty that you would gain the time because you see the thing is gone from me. I'm not sure. Marky Man says maybe asking what they thought about the dream and what he remembered. Of what he remembered. Maybe you're right. Maybe he was telling them bits and pieces of the dream, and then they were just gonna like kind of interpret it. But because he's not really certain, they could like try to manipulate him. It'd be like, was it a gold head or was it a brass head? Like, ooh, maybe that's what it was. Marky Man says he could have tried to see what the dream. He could have tried to see what the dream he had meant. Maybe, perhaps. So, but the king thinks that they're going to try and deceive him. That they can't actually tell him the dream. They can't actually tell him the interpretation thereof. They think that they're going to lie to him. And he says, but if you will not make known unto me the dream, there is but one decree for you, for you prepared lying, corrupt words to speak before me, till the time be changed. Therefore, tell me the dream, and I shall know you can show me the interpretation thereof. And the king and the Chaldeans answered before the king and said, there is not a man upon the earth that can show the king's matter. Therefore there is no king, lord, nor ruler that asketh such things at any magician or astrologer or Chaldean. They have some cheap tricks they can do to maybe deceive you, but now that their head is on the chopping block, now they don't have so much faith in their magic and their astrology. And it's a real funny thing. These people, you can pay them money to read your future, but if you said, okay, I'll pay you money to read my future, but if what you said does not come to pass, you're gonna get your head cut off. All of a sudden, their vision is clouded. They just cannot tell your future all of a sudden. How about that? Amazing how that works. That's the kind of, like I said before, that is why that's one of the reasons why God said to not seek out magicians and astrologers and Chaldeans, because number one, they'd be lying to you. They just want your money. And number two, demons. Number three, it'll turn you away from God, from seeking God's counsel. So don't do it. Don't do it. Whoa. I'm looking at the stream on my phone. Maybe, oh, wait a second. Okay, there we go. It was like minutes behind. I bet I fixed it though. And it is a rare thing that the king requireth. So this is them talking again. It's a rare thing that the king requireth, and there is none other that can show it before the king except the gods, whose dwelling is not with flesh. I do like that even these magicians and astrologers, these wicked, heathen, pagan people, even they admit this secret thing can only be revealed by God. They said gods, but it's a secret thing that only could have been revealed by God. So when Daniel revealed the thing, you would have thought that maybe they would have repented, maybe not trust in their evil witchcraft, and perhaps trust in, the God of Daniel, perhaps, but they did not. Oh well. For this cause the king was angry and very furious, and commanded to destroy all the wise men of Babylon. He was going to kill them all. I don't think that's a good thing to just kill all your wise men, but again, this is not a good king. He's a evil, wicked, pagan king. So killing all his wise men because they couldn't tell him something that no one could tell him. Well, that's just what they do. And the decree went forth that all the wise men should be slain, and they sought Daniel and his fellows to be slain. He's going to kill all the wise men, all the magicians, all the astrologers, all of these wise men. He's going to kill them all, including Daniel, Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego. He's going to kill them all. He's angry. Then Daniel then Daniel answered with counsel and wisdom. Counsel and wisdom. So I guess Daniel had counsel from someone. With counsel and wisdom to Arioch, the captain of the king's guard, which was gone forth to slay the wise men. He answered and said, why is the king all of a sudden wanting to kill us? And then Arioch tells Daniel, hey, they couldn't tell him the interpretation, and now he's pissed, and now he wants to kill them all. So Daniel went in and desired that the king would give him some time, and then Daniel would show the king the interpretation. Then Daniel went to his house and made the thing known unto Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. They would desire the mercies of God of heaven concerning the secret, that Daniel's fellows should not perish. So Daniel doesn't, I don't suppose Daniel cares for the magicians and the astrologers. Perhaps he does, but they're wicked and evil and were false counselors anyway. I don't suppose he was wanting to figure this out for their sake, but for his, because he was going to get killed too. Then was the secret revealed unto Daniel in a night vision. Then Daniel blessed the God of heaven. So, it wasn't instantaneous. Or maybe it was. They asked God for help, and then God revealed it to Daniel in a night vision. Okay. And Daniel thanks God. He says, you're amazing. God is amazing. He knows everything. He understands everything. He gives wisdom. God knows the secret things. God knows everything. He is amazing. I love God. He is my best friend. I love him. I thank thee and praise thee, O God, of my fathers, who hath given me wisdom and might, and hast made known unto me what we desired of thee. For thou hast now made unto us the king's matter. Made known unto us the king's matter. Okay. Therefore Daniel went unto Arioch and said unto him, don't destroy the wise men of Babylon. Bring me before the king, and I will show the interpretation. And he brought Daniel in haste. And it says, and told the king, I have found a man of the captives of Judah that will make known to the king the interpretation. So yes, he is. So Daniel is a captive here. He's, but you know, just because you've been taken captive and sort of kind of enslaved by another nation doesn't mean you should be bitter about it. Doesn't mean you should be bitter and murmuring, but make the best of what you can. And the king answered and said to Daniel, whose name was Belteshazzar, art thou able to make known the dream and the interpretation? John David says slavery is bad. Keep coping. Well, I don't think slavery is good. But if you had been enslaved, I don't think it would be wise of you to just trying to rebel and to disobey your master and to cause havoc, because that's ultimately just going to make your life even harder. You know, I don't love we don't love our jobs probably when we got to go to work and do them. But if you murmur and complain and fret and don't do a good job and fight with your boss at work, it's going to make your life a billion times harder. So it'd be in your best interest to do the best you can. Yeah, just do your best and quit being a murmuring, griping, complaining punk. How about that? Daniel answered in the presence of the king and said, the secret which the king hath demanded cannot the wise men, the astrologers, and the magicians, and the soothsayers show unto the king. Well, yep. Now, a soothsayer was also supposed to be a prophet, I believe. The prophets in the Bible were also called soothsayers, I believe. I believe they were. But we just call them prophets now. But there is a God in heaven that revealeth secrets and maketh known to the king what shall be in the latter days. The dream, the visions upon thy bed are these. Because I suppose that if God did send you a vision, He's never sent me a vision, so I don't know. I'm just guessing. If God sent you a vision, or if you had a vision, you didn't know if it was from God, if you pray to God that He would show you the interpretation of the vision, I suppose that's what you should do. But going into a magician or an astrologer or a tarot card reader to try and find the interpretation of the vision, I would think that is not good. But it's not good. I mean, that is not good. But I need to get a drink of water because I'm dying. See, only the best streamers leave the stream. Only the best. I mean, top notch, the most amazing streamers. In fact, quite the best. Really, if they don't do that, they're not even real streamers. Okay, so Daniel tells the king the dream. This thing is going to come to pass. So future events here. But as for me, the secret was not revealed. Daniel's very humble here. He says, I don't know this because I'm so smart. But as for me, the secret is not revealed to me for any wisdom that I have any more than any living. But for their sakes that shall make known the interpretation to the king, and that thou mightest know the thoughts of thy heart. So this is why God told them the dream and the interpretation, to save Daniel and Daniel, Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego, to save their lives, because King Nebuchadnezzar was going to kill them all. And I suppose God is just a nice guy and was going to just tell the king, hey, these are the thoughts of your heart. So that's why. But it does not say that the interpretation was revealed to save the magicians and astrologers and soothsayers. I don't think God would have spared them. I don't know why He would, because they're all wicked. A bunch of liars and con men. Imagine if a bunch of false preachers were caught in a lie and they were going to be put in jail, and then, like, should they be delivered? I'd say no. Why would they be? They don't even seek God. Talking about Dave says, you got to eat during the stream too. Extra loud chewing. Yeah, extra loud. Nom, nom, nom. I get dry mouth so bad when I stream. I get dry mouth a little bit, but oh my gosh. When I'm streaming, I'm dying. Probably because I'm nervous. Thou, O king, sawest and behold a great image. This is the vision. This great image whose brightness was excellent and terrible. The image, the head's image was gold, his breasts and his arms silver, his belly and his thighs of brass, his legs of iron, and his feet part iron and part clay. Thou sawest till a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet that were of iron and clay, and brake them in pieces. This stone that was cut out without hands, I believe that's Jesus. Now, this is the thing I was afraid of when I was going to read Daniel's. I don't know. I just want to read Daniel because I love Daniel. This stone that was cut out without hands, I think this is Jesus. Is this Jesus? He is the stone that their builders rejected. So I think that's Jesus. Jesus is going to, and these, the head, the arms, the legs, the toes are kingdoms or kings. Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver broken in pieces together and became like the chaff of summer. Threshing floors, and the wind carried them away, that there was no place found for them. And the stone that smote the image became a great mountain and filled the whole earth. That's got to be Jesus. It says a threshing floor. I forget what that is. I think to thresh something means to like separate the wheat from the chaff. I think, or something. Or maybe it's wheat. I don't know. It's a farming thing. I forget. See, I don't even know anything. Oh, this is the dream and this is the interpretation. Thou, O king, art the king of kings. For the God of heaven hath given thee a kingdom and power and strength and glory. The Bible does teach that all these rulers that we have are set up by God, whether they be good or bad, that they are set up by God. Now, why would God set up a good ruler? Well, I suppose to rule justly. Why would God set up an evil ruler? Well, I don't know. I don't know why God does what he does, but I know one of the reasons why God would set up an evil ruler is just so that he could later knock him down. God doesn't typically show his mighty, terrible wonders against good rulers. He does that against the bad ones. But some people do not believe God will do such a thing. So God will raise up an evil ruler just to knock him down, just to show people, hey, this ruler thinks he is God and boasts himself against God, yet he is not God. I am God. And then he destroys the ruler. So that's why God will set up an evil ruler. And wheresoever the children of men dwell, the beasts of the field, the fowls of heaven, he hath given into thine hand, and hath made thee ruler over them all. Thou art this head of gold. So the king of Babylon, King Nebuchadnezzar, the Babylonian kingdom is the head of gold. And after thee shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee, and another third kingdom of brass, which shall bear rule over all the earth. And there's actually been studies on this, which these kingdoms were. I think a kingdom inferior to the silver kingdom. I thought that was Persia, or maybe it was Assyria, because Assyria defeats Babylon. Or maybe it's not. There's also the Roman Empire as well. Maybe the brass is the Roman Empire. Maybe that's what it is, because it says it shall bear rule over the whole earth. And then there be another kingdom that should be as strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these shall it break in pieces and bruise. Now, what is this iron kingdom? It says it's super strong and defeats all the other ones. I'm not sure. I don't know. Dragon Ball Dave says Babylon defeats Assyria, Persia defeats Babylon. So maybe the silver one is Persia. And then the Roman take over. So maybe the Romans are the brass, because they take over the world. And then there is the iron legs. What do you suppose the iron legs are? And there's studies that have been done on this. I'm just kind of winging it. But there's studies, people studying this stuff. I don't know if anyone knows for sure, because it's a secret thing. It's a prophecy. It's not. Some of the stuff has not happened yet. And thou sawest the feet and the toes. The feet were part iron and part clay. So they were partly strong and partly weak. And I wonder about this. Who are the toes? Could America be the toes? America is an empire. Did you know that? Did you know America is an empire? We are. I never thought of this until I seen a Rick and Morty video that said that basically the president is basically the king of the world. I never thought of America that way until a Rick and Morty episode said that America is basically the police of the world. That we basically meddle in all the affairs of all the other nations. Most of them, I think, are grateful for this. Most of them are happy that we do this. But, I don't know. America is an empire, and we have a lot of power, and uh, we're just really powerful. Our military is, I think, more than twice. Yeah, our military is bigger than all the other militaries of the world combined. So we're a pretty powerful nation. Our economy is either the strongest or one of the definitely one of the strongest, maybe the strongest economy in the world. Our technology is the most advanced in the world, I believe. So America is very powerful, and I love this country. So well, I wonder if America, at least hypothetically, America could be this part iron, part clay, because we are partly strong and partly weak because our country is very divided against itself. So that's not good. But I don't know though. I'm not sure. I don't know. And whereas thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves together with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, as with iron is not mixed with clay. And in these days the king shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom. So and in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven, skill kings or kingdoms, shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. This is Jesus Christ. There is no way around that. That is Jesus. That there's going to be a kingdom that will never be destroyed. This is Jesus' kingdom, because he's going to destroy all other kingdoms, because his kingdom alone is going to reign. Dragon Ball Dave's got the American flag. And this kingdom shall not be left to other people. Yeah, because Jesus is going to be immortal and live and reign and rule and forever. So yeah, it's not going to be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. That's got to be Jesus. There's just got to be Jesus. For as much as thou sawest the stone that was cut out of the mountain without hands, that's totally Jesus. That I break in pieces the iron, the brass, and the clay. Hmm. He breaks the brass, the stone that was cut without hands, break in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold. Oh, it says it breaks them all. So maybe that's just spiritually God destroying all these nations, even though it was um, Assyria that defeats Babylon. I guess spiritually speaking, God has defeated them because God is the one who controls everything. The great God hath made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter, and the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof sure. Then the king Nebuchadnezzar fell upon. Okay, so this is something I said. If you guys remember, if you were here last week and we ended on Matthew, or maybe it was a couple weeks actually, I said that these people, they came to Jesus and they worshipped him. They worshipped Jesus. What a coincidence we find this word again. Now, just because King Nebuchadnezzar fell down upon his face and worshipped Daniel, it does not mean that he's worshiping him as God, but he's worshiping him as in he's just really happy. He is so glad that Daniel was able to tell him the interpretation of his dream that he's so happy and congratulating Daniel so much that they're just saying he worshipped him. But he's not actually worshiping him as God. I know this because of the context. There are other now, um, there are other places now. The whole reason I even pointed that out is because there are some places in the Bible where it says they worship Jesus, but not every time it says that is it a godly worship. Only the people who actually worship Jesus in a godly manner are the ones that count. When Thomas when Jesus had resurrected from the dead and Thomas said he would not believe unless until he stuck his fingers in the holes in Jesus' hands and put his hand in his side because the Roman had thrust a spear in Jesus' side. He said, I will not believe Jesus is risen unless I put my fingers in the holes in his hands and in my hand in his side. And then Jesus, he said, be not thou faithless but believing. He reached forth, touched them. Thomas touched the holes in his hands. And then Thomas said, my Lord and my God. And Jesus said, you believe because you see. Blessed are those that believe and do not see. And the whole reason I'm even bringing this up is because this man is calling Jesus my Lord and my God. And Jesus does not rebuke him. Jesus does not say, no, I'm just a servant. No, Jesus says, you believe because you see. Blessed are those that see, or blessed are those that believe and do not see. There's also a woman who is bowing down to Jesus and kissing his feet and washing his feet with her hair and her tears, worshiping him as not as a happy guy, but she's worshiping him as God. This is like, who else would you cry at their feet and kiss their feet and worship him and clean his feet with your hair and your tears? And this is God. This is an act of worship. And when this woman does this to Jesus, Jesus didn't push her off. He doesn't kick her away. He doesn't rebuke her. He doesn't reprove her. He doesn't say, "Oh no, not so. I am one of your fellow servants. I'm just a prophet." No, he reproved Peter for not. He reproves Peter for not worshiping Jesus and kissing his feet and washing his feet with his hair and his tears. He says that, Peter, I came to your house or something. I think it was Peter's house. But you did not give me a kiss, and you did not wash my feet. And this woman has not stopped from kissing my feet this whole time. And the whole point of this is to show that Jesus is God. And people worshipped him. And any other person in the Bible who was not God, whom they were worshipped like an angel, when they worshipped them, the angel said, "Oh no, don't worship me. I'm just an angel. I'm just one of your fellow brethren, or one of the fellow servants, or one of the prophets. Don't worship me." Anyone in the Bible who was worshipped falsely and they were good, they said, "Hey, don't worship me. I'm not God. Worship God." They worshiped Jesus, and Jesus didn't tell them not to, because he's God. Dragon Ball Dave says, did he rebuke Peter? Yes, sort of. She was a nice lady. Worship just means devote to. No, not the kind she was doing. Dragon Ball Dave says, Peter, I'm going to build temples for you, Lord. Jesus, what an idiot. Peter did not worship Jesus Christ as God yet. Dragon Ball Dave says, you coping. I'm not. So that's when it says King Nebuchadnezzar worshipped him, you got, depending on the context, the worship could mean a godly worship or just a worship as in a reverence. And this is just a reverence, because if had King Nebuchadnezzar actually worshipped Daniel, then he would think he was God, and probably would bow down to him and give him his kingdom and everything. But he didn't. And commanded that they should offer an oblation. I forget what an oblation is. I'm gonna look that up real fast. I think it's just an offering. An oblation, a thing presented or offered to God or a god. A sacrifice, an offering, a peace offering, burnt offering. Oblations. The act of making an offering, especially to a deity, an offering of a religious or charitable uses. So an offering. Now it says here it's offering to a deity. I still don't believe. Did Nebuchadnezzar actually worship Daniel? Wait a second. I thought that was just a reverence. Well, it could be that King Nebuchadnezzar does think Daniel is a god, but a lowercase g. So it'd be like he's a god, but he's not really like the god of heaven. I wonder if he actually did worship him here. Interesting. It says he offered him an offering that you would offer to God and sweet odors unto him. So I like, maybe he did worship him. You coping R Dragon Ball R2D2, the king of Babylon was dumb. Neb is dumb, bro. You are trying to rationalize Lucifer himself, bro. The king answered unto Daniel and said, of a truth it is that your God is the God of gods. No, because, okay, so if Nebuchadnezzar was worshiping Daniel, but it says right here, the king answered unto Daniel and said, of a truth it is that your God is a God of gods, and a Lord of kings, and a revealer of secrets, seeing thou couldst reveal this secret thing. So even the king is saying that Daniel's God is a God of gods. So I don't think he was worshiping Daniel. I think he was just really happy that Daniel told him the interpretation. He's just reverencing Daniel because then it says that your God. Well, if Daniel was God, then that could be kind of weird to say your God. But uh, but then again, I don't know. He says your God is a God of gods. It's possible Nebuchadnezzar could think of Daniel as a god, but not the God. As you can see here, that God is a God of gods. There's an uppercase G and lowercase g. That makes the whole difference. There's only one God, but there's basically infinite gods. Because, money could be, any idol is a god, money could be a god. You could make yourself a god if you think you're God. It says that, so I don't think he actually worshipped Daniel. I think he's just really happy. Dragon Ball Dave says Babylon believed in all types of gods. Well, lowercase g gods. Lowercase g gods. There's only one god. See, oh, you know what? I'm still, whoopsie. You guys have been seeing my face this whole time and not the text. Whoopsie. No one complained. No one's like, hey, I didn't see the text. What the heck? So the king of Babylon made Daniel a great man and gave him great gifts, made him ruler over the whole province of Babylon and the chief of the governors over all the wise men of Babylon. Very nice. Then Daniel requested that the king that his three companions, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, should be set over the other affairs, and the king did. And so they got put over the affairs of the province of Babylon, but Daniel sat in the gate of the king. So, two things. Number one, it's good to have friends in high places because then they can get you promoted. Awesome. The other thing, as it says, Daniel sat in the gate of the king. I don't know what that means, but I know that phrase, the gate of the king, appears a lot in the Bible. That's something I'd have to look up. It's something I'm curious to know what exactly that means. Sat in the gate of the king. I don't know what that means. But that is it. We did 2 chapters and we went over, which that was never my intention. But we did good. Now then, if anyone would like to go on Discord to talk about stuff, Dragon Ball Dave is here. If anyone would like to say anything on Discord, we'll see how long it goes. But if it, hey Dragon Ball Dave, how are you?
Oh, hey, cool. He's wrong. Nebuchadnezzar is just dumb.
What are you saying?
He actually is dumb. God makes him the epitome of all the powers, and he still messes it up.
Wait a second, I forgot something. I gotta put on my headset. I forgot. I need to put on my headset. Because they can. Okay. What? Okay, hold on a second. Okay, so audio output capture. Okay. Can you say something?
Something.
Okay, good.
I can hear myself full. I can't hear you very good, and I got my phone turned all the way up.
Okay, I'll do. Okay, my volume. You said my volume on Discord is not good. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, Alt X.
Just turn up the volume on your mic. See if that does it.
Ooh. You cannot hear me on Discord, he says.
I can hear you. It's very quiet.
Very quiet. Okay. Why is it very quiet? Ooh.
I mean, I can still hear you. I just gotta listen.
Well, that's not good enough. I need to find out why you cannot hear me on Discord. You could hear me on YouTube streaming just fine, right?
Yeah, and usually on Discord, I can usually hear you like crystal clear. And actually, you didn't have the
Output.
stream set up on Discord.
No, I didn't. Okay, so it says output volume is at 100%. I want to make it go louder. How's that?
I mean, you still sound the same. I don't think it's doing anything.
Also, wait a second. Okay.
It must be my phone. Or Discord was tripping earlier too. When I was trying, I had to leave the like I hopped in here earlier, and then I had to leave because when I clicked on your chat, it was showing me the spoiler chat from Dragon Ball server I'm in. And I was like, "What the heck?" So Discord was glitching.
But maybe it's a problem with Discord or something, because I don't know
It
why.
might be Discord, but it just got a new update and everything. So
Okay, well, I'm gonna assume it's Discord's problem because I can adjust my settings. Let's see here. Um, okay. It says 0.0. Oops. Okay. Uh, oops. I'm not what you would call all-knowing.
it's gonna be okay. Uh, but yeah, Nebuchadnezzar was just dumb. He was actually worshiping Daniel. He is so dumb that like imagine somebody awestrucking you and you're like, "Oh yeah, that's great," and somebody else comes and does a cooler trick, and you're like, "Oh yeah, you're the best." And somebody else comes and does a cooler trick, like, "Oh, you know, you're the best." He was foolish,
It's
and God
foolish.
literally put that. That's a big thing. That's that whole Isaiah thing. When it's talking about that fall of Lucifer, that is. It's talking about Nebuchadnezzar is just a dummy. He's just a dumb one.
I see. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, it's still kind of quiet.
It's still kind of okay. What is going on?
I don't think it's you. I think it's Discord.
Okay. Okay.
You could
Well,
try to you could leave the chat and then hop back in.
leave the chat and hop back in. Okay, I'll try that.
Yeah, if you leave the voice thing, will it close it out?
I don't know. I will
I'm about to find out.
disconnect and then I'll come back.
That's by myself.
Okay. I left and then came back. Is it better?
You got even quieter.
It's even quieter?
Yes, it's much quieter.
Oh no. Why?
I wonder if this is something on my end.
Why is it doing it? Well, anyone who is not, like, if you're not wanting on to Discord, the Bible study is officially over. This is just something extra if people want to talk to me. But if you did come and watch the stream, thank you. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, tell your friends. And thank you for joining. And then you can the stream is officially the study is officially like done. You can stay and talk with Discord, or you can or just go. And thank you
Oh,
for joining. Okay.
all right. I can't wait till next week. I'm gonna light you up with Daniel chapter 3.
Okay. So you can barely hear me on Discord.
Correct. But I can hear you.
Man.
It's like I need to hold the phone up to my ear like I'm talking on it.
Ah. You see, I'm actually if something so
I think it
what?
could be my phone even, man. My phone could just be tripping.
I don't know.
It's not a big deal. Anyways, it's just me in here anyways, ain't it?
Yeah, it's just you.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, hey,
What?
next week I'm going to light you up.
You gonna light me up? Why?
Because next week is Daniel chapter 3. When you don't read verse 24, I'm gonna be triggered.
What's verse 24?
As far as you're concerned, it's not gonna be there.
Oh, it's like like so
Correct.
some Bibles don't have the verse because it's extra
Yeah,
added verses.
24 through 93.
That's a lot of
A
extra.
lot of
That's like a whole chapter. That's like a whole book.
Daniel chapter 3 is very long. In the Apocrypha, usually when people translate that, they don't even put those in Daniel chapter 3. They break them down into 3 separate books.
Yeah,
The
because
Song of Azariah,
so
Prayer of the 3 Wise Men, and like Bell and the Dragon and Susanna.
my perception of it being multiple books missing is correct, or multiple books added, I should say.
It's all one thing. It's all the same story. Azariah is the guy you're literally learning about him. You literally just read about him. He's Daniel's buddy, but his goose is cooked.
Goose.
But all right, brother.
I don't know why you can barely hear me. I'm
I think it's
sad.
my phone.
Well, okay. But okay,
I'm
well,
going to
thank.
assume it's my phone.
You think it's your phone?
I think it's my phone or Discord or both.
It's either. Well, I hope it's not me. So
I don't think it's you.
your phone or Discord, because my mic settings has not changed. I've not changed them, so if it's not working, I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Oh, hey, do it now. Talk.
Hello, hello, how are you?
It's me. I'm a dumbass.
What was your volume turned down?
I had my volume on max, but if you go on in there and you put change audio output,
Yeah.
I had to change it from phone to speaker.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So now you
See,
can hear
that's
me.
new. That wasn't like that before. Last time it was pretty much always on speaker if you were on Discord.
So now you can hear me crystal clear.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, awesome. I'm glad we could figure that out. Isn't that so nice when you can figure stuff out? That's so awesome.
Yeah, it is pretty awesome. But all right, well, I'll get you later then, brother.
Okay. I love you. I'll talk to you later.
All right, goodbye.
Okay. Bye. Okay, so that is it. Disconnect. No one joined Discord, which is okay. Alt C. So the stream is over. Thank you everyone who joined. Have a nice day. And that's it. Okay. Goodbye. Yep. Bye.